Hello, this is Brian Hegney, instructor of game and interactive media design. We just went over creating a photoshopped diffuse map for our barrel, and I think it looks pretty darn good. I actually love that barrel. Now, there's a few other things we need to do. Number one, the rims do not look good. Okay, but how are we going to change the way those hoops look? What if I want those to be like metal and like reflective, really highly polished metal or slightly polished metal? We're not going to do that in our diffuse channel, or in our diffuse map. We are actually going to do this in a metal map as well as the roughness map. And so in this video, I want us to look at metal maps and roughness maps. Now, if you'll notice, we don't have a metal map or a roughness map. We have a normal map that tells us what's bumped and what's not bumped, and we have a shadows map that is our like ambient occlusion map, which is essentially tells us what's in shadowed. It's a better way of rendering these shadows of the object. Alright, so we're going to make a metal map and a roughness map. We can make it from this map right here. So I'm actually going to take the shadows map and I'm going to open it up in Photoshop like I have here, and I'm going to hit File, Save As, and I'm going to save this as LP Barrel. Let's call this metal. And actually, what does Unreal Engine call it? They call it something metallic. I thought they called it metalish. Metallic map. I'm going to call it O2 because that's what my other ones are called. If you see that I have O3, you'll notice that within the last day I've been experimenting, so pay no attention to the O3s. Okay. Metal map. Okay, now this is my LP Barrel metallic map. What that means is everything that's white is metal and everything that's black is not metal. Now, if I were to just keep this as my metal map, I could actually come into Unreal Engine, import that map, metallic, LP Barrel metallic map 02 that I just saved in Photoshop, and I'm going to drag it into my material editor. Drag this down, drag this up here, and I can plug that RGB into metallic. Let go. Now this isn't going to look good. Well, I guess it does, kind of. What that did was it made my... Oh, what are these called? It made my rims look metallic-er, but they're not shiny the way I want them to be. And that's okay, because by default... Let's see, let's actually create something. By default, their roughness is set to 0.5. If I were to hold down 1 and click in here, like we did in our previous project with the table, set that to 0 and drag that 0 node to roughness. Now, oh my goodness, that does look terrible. But you can kind of see here that the rims here look like they are metal and they are rough. Or they are not rough, they are made out of metal. But of course, the barrel is also made out of metal here, and that's because the image that we mapped into the metallic shows white, where the barrel staves are. So what we have to do, if we want only the metal rims to be really highly polished in metal, let's delete that 0 for 1, is to come into our Photoshop and just make sure, hold on a second, you know what I'm also going to do? I want these the rims to be flat and perfect instead of this bit right here. And so what I'm going to do is probably grab this layer itself. I'm going to select this entire piece, hit Command C, come over to my metallic, hit Command V. Oh, of course that was bad. I am going to select everything. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to select hoop fix and base map. Hit Command C, and now I'm selecting, I think, these colors, and now if I come in here and hit Command V, oh, it's still doing that. Hold on a second. Hey, oh, okay, I know, I'm not sure what's going on with my photoshopping, but I will say I can just say File Open, and I'm going to open the compressed version of the diffuse map, and I am using diffuse 03 for this one, and that is a static version, or a compressed version. No layers. I'm going to hit Command C, go into my metallic and hit Command V. Now why am I doing that? I'm only doing that so that I can click with my magic wand tool on the hoops. And of course I'm going to use a tolerance of 10, something a little bit lighter. Okay, I'm going to use a tolerance of 2. Let's see if I can do 2. Oh, that's a little better. You can see now a tolerance of 2, not contiguous. I don't care if I sample all layers. Oh, I could have just not sampled all layers. Is that true? No. And tolerance of 2. Okay, now I can zoom out. And what I can do is turn this layer off now, and you'll see, hey, I've kind of selected this stuff. I'm going to right-click and select inverse, and now that selects everything that is not the metal staves. I'm going to or metal hoops. I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm actually going to fill that with black. You'll see why in a second. Bam. Alright. Now what that does is, you'll see now, the only things that are white are the metal parts. Okay, now these are a little black. That's from the distortion that we already talked about. I'm going to go ahead and save this as a Photoshop document, LP Barrel Metallic Map 02, because I'm going to want to probably come back and edit this. And so I'm going to now save this as a Targa, and I'm going to save this as Metal Map. I'm going to go ahead and save this as, oh, Metal Map 02 is fine. I'm just going to save over it. Yes, replace it. And now when I go into my Unreal Engine, okay, I'm going to do something fun and easy for my metal map, LP Barrel Metallic Map 02. I'm going to right-click the texture and say re-import. And if you saved over the original one, it can re-import it from where it was. And notice it changed there. You can now see the little strands or striations. And if I were to click 1 again, and click in my material editor, hold down 1, left click, drag that to roughness as a value of 0. Now you will see the wood is fine. The wood is not shiny, and just those hoops are slightly metallic. Almost chrome, if you will. Okay, still everything is really shiny though, and I'm not going to want that. Save. Okay, so now the hoops are all metal, and the barrel staves are not metal because of this black and white map. Now the very next thing I can do is in Photoshop, if I wanted to, I could open up that metallic map 02 TGA that I just created. Do I want to do this? Yes! I can show you 2 different ways. Number 1, I'm going to add an adjustment layer and actually invert it. So I'm going to add the invert adjustment layer. And I could save this as a PSD. That is not the metallic now, but the roughness. Roughness map. LP Barrel Roughness Map 02. This is a Photoshop document. Now for a roughness map, anything that's white gets a value of 1, and that means that's really rough. And everything that's black gets a value of 0, and that means that's really not rough, which is smooth. Did I save this as a TGA yet? I don't remember. TGA. No, I didn't. LP Barrel Roughness Map 02 TGA. Save it. And now when I come into my Unreal Engine, I'm going to double click. No, I'm not. I'm going to import and go to my Roughness Map TGA file, open it. It opens it there. Notice it's the exact opposite of the metallic, and I'm going to drag this into my material editor once again. Move these around a little bit and drag that RGB into roughness and let go. And there we have a very shiny set of stuff for my barrel hoops. The other cool thing that you can notice here is like the parts that aren't rough, right? So much of this is rough, or much of it is shiny, but some of it is not shiny at all. And that's because in my Photoshop, all of these splotches actually are less shiny than complete black. Okay, so that's fun. Another way I could have done that is, I'm going to close this PSD. I'm going to go to my, where's my, is this my metallic? Yeah. If this is my metallic layer, I could actually unlock this whole layer, and I could put in a group. Whoops, I could select every single layer in my metallic map Photoshop document, create a group, and double click this and call this group, oops, metallic. And if I want to, I could actually create an adjustment now on that layer and do an invert. It's called invert 1, but I could just as easily call this roughness. And there, when I turn on my roughness adjustment layer, it will create the roughness, an inversion of my metallic. Now that's only if I only want that to be flipped. So every single thing that's metallic is smooth. That's only if I want to do that. But you could have done that just as easily and created a map from that. Alright, I'm going to end this now, and in the next video we will look at how we can actually tidy this up a little bit more to make this even more impressive. Okay, that's all for now.